What up, my Bill 5000 Nation? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's had a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. This is the third time I've tried to make this video. I have seen exactly 3 minutes each freaking time. The last time I just completely forgot to hit record. I don't even know. The second time I pulled up the wrong freaking video. The first time, I don't even know what I did. Ugh. Garfield was wrong. It's Gur Tuesdays. Oh, for the love of Pete. It's one of them all-day coffee drinkers, most indubitably. Oh, that's good coffee, though. All right. So, like I said before, and this is take 4. So, like I said, in the first 3 takes, I was informed by a viewer that there might be a new insurance dance, or at least there is an insurance dance in this video, and I have not got to see an insurance dance in a very long time. And the day I have had today, I need that. I need a little insurance dance in my life. So we are here with another That Chapter. Mike coming in with the, oh yeah. Coming in clutch. Make me laugh, Mike. Please. Because I can't laugh at my own stupidity no more. That's just making me sad. Oh. Alright. So, y'all don't know this, but I've said this before. I'm excited for this video, mainly because I need that insurance dance in my life, y'all. I do. I need it. So bad. Alright, let's go ahead and get into today's story. Go ahead, turn the lights down low, put on something comfy, cuddle up with someone special. Let's get dancy. Insurance dancy.
Hey you, and welcome. My name's Mike, and in this old video,
I've told you hi 100 times today.
To set the scene is, it's a classic. You got marriage, you got motive, you got life insurance, which, as you all know, it's my personal favorite, and you got a plot. One thought I have behind all these cases when I'm looking into them is it's kind of amazing how many people think they can get away with the old, in and out, with a knife, that is. Because kind of by that logic, there must be a whole bunch of people who did it and got away with it. Which is kind of frightening, and...
Okay, if that tells you how much I like that chapter, I have literally seen this part 3 other times, and it still makes me laugh. And no, I have not seen the whole video. I've literally got to 3 minutes each damn time. Each damn time. Now, I am going to say a few things that I said before, but that is just how I feel about it. That ain't going to change the 3 times I've seen it. But I'm trying today.
They're probably standing behind you right now. Or maybe in front of you. Edit that part out. Let's give this story a go.
Oh.
This story takes us to Elmira, New York. Where else? It's a hike from both New York City and Buffalo, though curiously near Syracuse. That, Finger Lake area, I would have no reason to know of it other than crime stories being set there, and I feel like I know it pretty well at this stage. I don't know what's going on there. It should be called Point the Finger Lake, because they're just mad for the killing. So, what can you find in Elmira you can't find, anywhere else? Well, Mark Twain.
Killing.
If you had a time machine that took you back 150 years. Also, Tommy Hilfiger, he lives there. The killers like to be well-dressed.
I said this before. I didn't know Tommy Hilfiger lived there. That's You figure it'd be a little bit better of a place having, some famous people live there, especially Mark Twain. Miss Mark Twain.
Best, I guess.
Huck Finn.
The city has a population of about 26,000 people, and it's a quaint little place. Parks, arenas, a carousel from the 1800s. Very nice. So that's the good points. The bad points are that the crime rate is not so fantastic. Bummer. And this story only adds to that when the Clayton family, were living there, they settled there, and they kind of fell apart there. Just after midnight on the 29th of September 2015, this call came in to the Elmira Police Department 911.
911.
Help me, my wife. She's dead. Hurry.
Okay, just stay on the line with me. How long has she been down?
I don't know. I just got home.
Sir, you need to calm down so I can help you. What's your name?
My name's Tom.
She beyond CPR.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell me why you think she's beyond CPR?
Just touch me.
Alright. For one, don't tell me to calm down. If I'm calling you cause my old lady's dead, do not tell me to calm down. That is not going to be pretty. Like, no. I'm going to be like, mother, you need to calm down. I have every right in the world to be traumatized. Said this before. I'm saying it again. No. Do not tell me to calm down. For two, how you going to call the police
I can't reach the internet right now. Check your modem or router connection and try again.
I ain't dealing with you, Google Home thing. Yeah. I'm not restarting. I'm not doing it. I freaking refuse. I'm done. Okay, for one, don't tell me to calm down if my old lady's dead. For two, we know you either had her killed or killed herself. I don't know. I haven't made it. So, how you going to be like, just trust me? Don't call the police saying your old lady's dead, can't do CPR. Yeah, she's beyond CPR. How do you know she's beyond CPR? Just trust me. That sounds shady as shit. Mara?
See, Thomas Clayton, he had arrived home to his house just after midnight. He was coming home from his weekly Monday night poker game. He walked into his house on Ginnon Road, kind of on a remote side of town, heavily wooded. And, well, he discovered his wife, Kelly. Well, he found her bloodied body in the kitchen. It looked like someone had come in and beat her to death. They had 2 young children in the house also. Now, thankfully, they were both upstairs. They were traumatized, but they were safe. The police arrived, but
I'm gonna say it. I don't care for that part. I really don't. This, like I said, 4th time technically I've seen this part, because in about 15 more seconds is whenever I realized everything just went to shit 3 other times. So, and I'd be damned if Google over there is going to mess. No, and she got unplugged. So that really irks me. As a parent, I'm a firm believer you have every right to traumatize your child to an extent. What's the point of having kids if you can't embarrass them and scar them for life a little bit? You know what I mean? I got 3 boys. I embarrass them all the time. I'm an amazing father. No. But I don't care what your issue is with the mother of your children. She gave you the best gift in the world, a child. Show her some damn respect. You know what I mean? And if you, just for some who cares reason, like for some reason in your head, you gotta do something. Don't let your freaking kids be in the house when you either A, paid to have her killed by someone else, and it could have went bad with your kids there, or did it your own damn self. Those poor children did not need to go through that. That, excuse my language, is going to get, that pisses me the hell off. It does. I'm sorry. I hate to hear this kind of stuff when there's children involved. I don't know why. I love my kids more than I love myself. I'm one of those empty nesters. Like, I dread the day my kids turn 18 and they're going to college and then they're getting their own place, getting their own job, having their own family, and because I know I'm going to see them less and less and less and less. And I love my babies. I do. I don't know how someone could do that with their kids in the house, upstairs, probably crying their eyes out, traumatized from hell and back. That goes through me.
There was sweet F all to be done. Only catch to the asshole that done did this. But where to begin? Kelly, Stage, Clayton...
Right there is where it... I haven't made it past this. So...
Onto the stage on the 1st of August 1980. She was the daughter of Elizabeth Stage and Howard Stage. Lots of stages, don't know where I'm going with this. Herself and her two older siblings, Kim and Lenny, were all born and reared in Elmira. Howard Stage, he died very unexpectedly in 2012. But by that stage, Kelly had a family all of her own. See, Kelly was known around town. Howard had been fire chief for over 20 years, and so she was always hanging out, she was a familiar face in the town. She was also big into fitness. Pilates was her thing.
And then as you exhale, extend the spine and lift up.
I don't think I can bend like that. What the fudge? You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? See? No, I'm sorry. I don't think my muscles can move all those directions at the same time. No, that hurt. Like, I don't know, something popped. Oh. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Let's see. Kelly Clayton is December's mindful mover. As an ex-gymnast, working out and staying fit has always been a priority in my life. As I age, it gets more difficult too. I understand that.
Awesome, Kelly.
Kelly graduated
It was hard for me to do whenever I was younger.
from Elmira Free Academy, the local high school where she was on both the softball team and cheerleading squad. Look at you! And then she was out of town. She went to Vegas, baby! She became a cocktail waitress at the Imperial Palace. Doing her thing. Cocktail waitressing. But then after not too long, she was like, F this S, I'm Delia, to be going back to Elmira. She wanted to be close to her family, so she moved back home. And home was where Kelly Stage would meet Tom Clayton. See, one day, Kelly, her sister, and her mother, they went to the local, they went to watch a local hockey game. The Elmira Jackals, they're a minor league team. And, you know, while sitting in the stands, Kelly, she was, got the gooey-eyed, she got the look. You know, she saw a player and she just...
See that? Bet you. You know she did. Ladies, you know I can't do it. Like, I don't have that skill set. But I've seen it. I've seen it. It's but better.
One of those ice skating princes caught Kelly's eye. Probably because he was beating 7 shades of shite out of anyone who looked at him the wrong way, but not Kelly, no siree. Well, no spoilers.
Superheroes are coming to First Arena this Friday night on and off the ice. Your Elmira Jackals push for the playoffs continues this weekend at First Arena versus the Manchester Monarchs.
See, Thomas Clayton, he had a bit of a...
I've never watched hockey. Do they really just beat the shit out of each other on ice? I think I might start watching hockey. That looked amazing. It was like boxing and figure skating combined.
reputation.
With a little bit of golf.
He was known as a hothead on the ice and a ladies' man off of it. Was it love at first sight between Thomas Clayton and Kelly?
They made a beautiful pair. I mean, she a pretty lady and he a pretty boy, so he had pretty babies.
Well, you know, that's what they say. They went together like peas and carrots. They were, you know, instantaneously bound.
Peas and carrots? I like corn and green beans. I like cheesy peas. I like carrots on their own. I don't know if I'd like them together. I'm not a big mixed vegetable person, though. It's close to supper time. He talked about food. I got distracted. I'm sorry.
For good and for bad. They dated for a number of years, eventually doing the old death to us part. I'm sure Tom said it, you know. 2 children they would...
Oh, look at the babies. Oh, they look so... Everyone looks so happy. It's gonna be bad. Oh, God. No. Oh, God.
Charlie, a girl, Cullen, a boy. And they moved into a house on Ginnon Road. They would move to that rural enough area in 2012. Things were great until they weren't. Though they hadn't been for Tom for a while. See, he, you know, hockey was his life. He had wanted to go pro, but they said no. Womp.
Womp, womp.
Thomas Scott Clayton was born on the 17th of March 1978, Paddy's Day, good man, in Binghamton, New York, only about an hour's drive from Elmira. He was a fine young fella growing up. Sports were his thing. He attended Niagara University in Buffalo and...
But, I mean, he's got the face of a car salesman. She's got like one of those high-class realtor ladies. Like a face you'd see on a park bench, you know what I mean?
And went semi-pro on the ice. He played forward, and after graduating, he signed with the Elmira Jackals, a minor league hockey team.
Get one of their top guys off the ice for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you know, it's a job done. You want a job, you want to fight someone. Just like when you're a little kid and you get so mad, you just want to fight, you know?
Unfortunately, they're not around anymore. The Jackals, they last played in 2017. So, like, were they good? Well, they're not around anymore, so that answers your question. On the ice, Tommy liked to fight. He was the enforcer, the goon. He liked to beat the shite out of the other players. He was mad to. So, like, he kind of should have become a boxer, really, if you just wanted to beat the shit out of people. Because he would also sometimes do it off the ice. He was known to be aggressive. Like, he wasn't a big guy, but like, he was this little scrapper. And unfortunately, that mentality didn't just, like, stick to the rink. One time in 2003, Tom and a teammate of his, they got into a bar fight with 4 police cadets. Probably like some of the people you least want to get into a bar fight with. Now, that's a felony, but he got it downgraded.
So it was like police academy.
To a misdemeanor, which was very lucky for him. He was a hothead. I guess you could say, you know, he had, he's a bit sensitive, thin-skinned, little dick syndrome, what's it called? That thing. He could be red. But, you know, as well as he could be like that, people also said, you know, he was a family man, he was a decent guy at heart. Just, you know, don't piss him off or he'll probably, like, sucker punch you. Now, his dream was the NHL, the major leagues. You know, major leagues for Tommy, but sadly, it was not to be. That probably explains a lot about him, actually. Now, picture this, right? You're at home, surfing the World Wide Web, doing the old clackety clackety, as the kids say, I think. When suddenly, someone knows who and where you are. They have everything, including that browsing history you thought you deleted late one night. Nah, they got it. Next thing you know, they're in the house and oh my god, they're wearing your face. Why would you let all that happen when you could have been using my new best friends?
Oh. I was like, where the hell is this going?
NordVPN. NordVPN is the online service keeping you safe on the internet. With a single click, your IP address is hidden, and you can be in any country you want to be. Can't access that content in your location? Well, now you can, so buckle up. And using my special link, that is nordvpn.com/thatchapter, you get a special deal that is just for you. Yes, yeah, you. That deal is getting a mega, and I'm talking over 50% discount on a 2-year plan. And not only that, you also get 4 months free. Wow, huh, really? That seems too good for you. But I guess NordVPN are just a sound owl bunch. And let's not forget to mention NordVPN's threat protection. With threat protection, you are safer than ever before against malicious websites, pop-up ads, and trackers. No thank you. So it keeps you safe on the web, you're practically invisible, and you can be anywhere in the world you want to be. It's basically like having a superpower, really. So once again, use that link in the description. That is nordvpn.com/thatchapter to get a deal that is just for you. Thank you, new best friends, NordVPN. Now let's get back into it. He was rejected countless times, and in 2006 he officially retired from hockey. Yeah, sure, retired. He retired from no one wanting to give him a job. And so from there he went into business with a friend of his, a friend named Brian. They set up a company called ServPro. It would do in like renovating, for water damage, fire damage, mold.
Hey, I've dealt with ServPro before. Whenever I was younger, my mom caught our house on fire. It was an accident. It really was. Long story. I could have probably peed on the fire and put it out, but my mom freaks out over every little thing, and she's like, pack everything, we gotta go. But Serpro came in, the water damage and stuff that firefighters did. They cut out the walls, put in new ones, redid the floor, did all kinds of cleaning, did a mold check for a year afterwards to make sure black mold didn't build up anywhere for anything they might have missed. Yeah.
It will come along and fix up your commercial or business property serving the Elmira area. Still proudly serving to this day, and I feel like I'm doing an ad for them. Please pay me. So he had been a hockey player, and now he was in, restoration business. Kelly, she worked waiting tables, and also to bring in a little extra cashish, they bought a couple of properties around town and would rent them out to bring in a little extra cha-ching. So all that brings us right back to the night of the 28th of September 2015, early morning 29th. A Monday which, after Tom's weekly poker game, he came home to find his beloved wife Kelly brutally murdered. It seems the kids were sleeping when Kelly, she was attacked in her bed. There was a blood trail from her bedroom, down the hall to her daughter's room, and then down the stairs. The attacker must have been chasing her the entire way through the house before beating her to death in the kitchen. Her face had been beaten in. It was a very messy scene. And their 7-year-old Charlie, their daughter, she witnessed pretty much the entire thing. She saw her mother be beaten to death. She hugged her dead body, and then she went upstairs. She hid with her little brother, waiting for their dad to come home. I think that's probably incredibly traumatizing.
That poor baby seen her mommy beat to death. And hugged her and I just need to say, hold on. That Okay. Alright. Composure's coming back. Okay. It's...
Tragic, disturbing, whatever adjective you want to put in there, it's probably all of them. It's about as messed up
It's fucked. Sorry. It's fucked.
as it gets. So Tom then, he arrived home just after midnight.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
What's going on?
Tom just came. I'm the neighbor. He
Okay.
just came and got me out of bed. He's right in the house.
Okay, what happened?
His wife is in.
First responders arrived within minutes. They met a neighbor who directed them into the house.
Got blood on the wall, blood on the steps.
Now, right away, the responding officers were suspicious of Tom.
Tom, where were you when this all went down?
Playing poker with my buddy. I came home and my daughter said there was a robber in the house and she saw them.
Okay, come on out here, man. Come on out here. I want you to have a seat. You don't need to see that anymore, okay? All right. Come on.
I get that water.
Yeah, we'll get you water. Take it easy, bud. Take it easy. Come on over here, Tom. You're not in trouble, okay? I'm just gonna have a seat so we can talk to you. All right? Take it easy. You're not in trouble. Just sit right there. I'm gonna leave the door open. Just sit right there and relax.
They kind of wanted to get Tom out of the house. I mean, I suppose that's kind of, preserve the scene, but...
That and preserve the scene, make sure there's no contamination from him, and just in case the burglar might still be in there hiding somewhere, he's not safe. And that, for normal people, would be very, very traumatizing, but for shitty people like that who actually had something to do with it, I promise, I'm not a violent person, but I would have shot him in his face. I mean, not at this point because, the police don't know if he did it or not. And I'm sure they was just trying to protect his sanity. He's, they're thinking, they're more than likely thinking like this. Bro, you don't need to see that no more. She is unfortunately gone, and you still have kids you have to worry about and think about. Let's get you the hell up out of here. You don't need to be traumatized no more than what you are. Little did they know that he's just the biggest piece of shit.
It seems like they had their suspicions kind of right away about him. Tom was questioned pretty quickly, not as a suspect, but and he was immediate, to the police guys, I have a GPS. It's on my car, so it couldn't have been me. Kelly had fought hard against her attacker. She'd fought for her life, and so whoever did this must have been strong, like a former hockey player. Nothing was robbed, no signs of forced entry. I know it comes up again and again, it doesn't mean there wasn't forced entry, but it's one of the things you search for first, though the garage door was open. No things were rummaged through. Seems like Kelly's life was the sole objective. As I said, Tom, he kind of had, thought of everything before he even spoke to the police. He was like, guys, I have a GPS on my truck. It tracks where I was, so... The investigation then began. There was a pond out back that was drained. They were going through every inch of the property, questioning everyone and anyone they could think of. And, something that kind of came up again and again and again was like Kelly would have no enemies. There was nobody who would have it in for her. No motive to speak of, on the surface, as somebody hated her, so they wanted to kill her, and they did. Weird place for such a random act of violence, though, as well, kind of a remote place. This isn't like in the city where somebody might just randomly kill you. This is like out in the boonies. And Tom kept on coming back. See, Charlie, the witness to her own mother's brutal murder, told the cops that, although she didn't understand what she witnessed.
Charlie, do you know why we brought you here today? Okay. We're gonna have to talk a little bit about last night, okay?
She said the robber looked like her dad and had the same eyes as him.
This guy came and started hitting my mom with this pipe thingy. He looks like my dad. And why do you say that? How did he look like your dad? The mask and his shoes.
Now, Tom did have a concrete alibi the night of. He was at that poker game. People said he was there. They saw him. But still, the police wanted to look more into our Tom. And what they found was, well, no surprise. Tom had a gambling addiction. It seems like, though he wasn't playing it, he's probably still betting on it. And he was deep in debt at this point. He owed a lot of cha-ching. He also seemed to be having affairs around town. He also recently doubled Kelly's life insurance up to $1 million. Good man, Tom!
Yes.
Man, he really could not.
Yes. Insurance tax. Thank you. I needed that in my life. Oh, God. Yes. Oh, God. Yeah. I needed that. We all needed that after hearing some of this. Oh, yeah. We all needed that.
Get over not making it into the NHL. It seems, you know, with his gambling, with his affairs, with all his shite, seems like he just couldn't get over, even though he had a lovely wife and kids and a good business. Man, seems like, you know, hockey meant everything to him. Well, he meant shit to hockey. The police were also advised to speak to a certain Michael Beard. See, Michael had been an employee of ServPro until he was recently fired for suspicion of stealing. He also rented out one of the units from the Claytons. The police got a direct link between Tom and Michael Beard when, on the night of, when Tom was at that poker game while his wife, I guess, was being murdered. Tom had asked one of the hosts of that poker game if he could borrow their phone just to make a quick call. So they gave him their phone, and when they got it back off Tom, they saw the call logs had been deleted, but they still had phone records from the actual phone company. And then when they gave all this to the police, Tom used my phone, I don't know who he called. Police checked, he called Michael Beard twice that night. Police ended up tracking numerous calls and texts between Michael and Tom. After Tom called Michael that night, Michael was on the move, and Tom had told many of the women he was sleeping with that if he split from Kelly, she would take the whole lot. Police then spoke to Michael, who didn't say anything at first. He was like, no, you know, I don't know Tom that well, and I certainly didn't murder his wife, you know, for maybe some kind of murder plot. What murder plot? I didn't say that, you guys did. They then spoke with Michael's girlfriend, though. She wasn't quite as hush-hush as Michael. And she was like, well, you know what? I heard Tom offered my boyfriend Michael like 10 grand to set fire to his house. Maybe. She threw him under the bus, like, immediately. I don't blame her for that. So I guess Michael decided to take the next step without informing his girlfriend that he wasn't going to set fire, he was actually going to kill. It went from fire for hire to murder for hire. The police confronted Michael with this new information and he cracked, like, immediately. He said to the police Tom had given him the keys, he had entered through the garage. He even showed the police where he had dumped the murder weapon. The murder weapon that he used to beat Kelly Clayton to death was like the handle of an axe. So basically an axe, just remove the sharp part. He took him to where, you know, he had dumped the keys, he had dumped his bloody clothes, and he told the police Tom was going to pay him 10 grand, but he didn't take the money up front. He trusted Tom. Well, that's his own fault, really. Michael and Thomas were both arrested and charged with murder. A guy named Mark would also be charged. It seemed Michael had picked up a guest on his way to the Clayton home. Mark had been the lookout. Tom would make bail, interestingly enough, and he made the most out of it. While he was out on bail, awaiting trial, he was living his best life. Live, laugh, love. He was gambling, he was partying, he was having a great old time. Maybe he knew what was coming and he was like, I'm going to have one big great party, because then my life be over. 1 year after the murder, Michael Beard went on trial.
Michael Beard told investigators Thomas Clayton offered him $10,000 to kill Kelly Stage Clayton. From a series of voluntary interviews with Beard, the days following Kelly's death, investigators say Beard became emotional after failing a polygraph test. Beard told investigators he knew where the murder weapon was.
On trial, he recanted everything he said. he said Tom only paid him to set fire to the house, and he didn't even do that. He didn't kill anybody. Don't know what you're on about. His story was completely different to his confession. He was now saying he was only hired to start a fire at the Clayton home, but when he arrived, he found a murder in progress. When the attacker saw Michael after beating Kelly to death, he threw the murder weapon at Michael, getting him all bloody. Shucks, you know, and then Michael just decided to hide it. He panicked. Yeah, the jury didn't buy that one, and so he was sentenced to life in prison. No parole.
Beard's attorneys told the judge Thomas Clayton is the predator in this case.
His words speak for themselves. You know, he was a predator in its truest sense, and I think he preyed on just about everybody in his life, including Michael Beard, and exploited some of his vulnerabilities and weaknesses.
Then Tom went on trial, but it wasn't quite as straightforward as Michael's. It was quite circumstantial. He was pleading not guilty. The prosecution said otherwise, that he wanted out of the marriage. He wanted the money, life insurance, baby, and he hired a man to do it. A man he knew well, who had worked for him, who had been to his house before. The frequency of contact between Michael and Tom was big frequency, like 68 calls in September. Alone, like why would you contact somebody who you had just fired that much? Unless you were working with them on some secret evil project, maybe? Video surveillance also showed that the night of the murder, Michael had driven a borrowed truck leaving the Serve Pro car park. He was seen leaving in that truck the same time Tom called him. Meanwhile, at the same time, while Tom was going to the poker game, he was driving a work truck, a Serve Pro truck. So essentially what they're saying is Tom drove to Serve Pro in his own car, he left it there, he went from Serve Pro to the poker game in a work truck, so he left his car there for Michael to come get it and drive to his house and kill his wife. So I think that's it, really. Thomas Clayton was found guilty of first-degree murder.
After about 6 hours of jury deliberation, the jury began deliberating yesterday around 10:40. They resumed this morning at 9:30, and just shortly before 10 o'clock, they had a verdict.
And sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He appealed, and it went nowhere.
I hope bad things happen to us booty hole boys in there. I'm sorry, y'all, but your daughter seen all kinds of shit. Now those babies don't have a mom. They don't have a damn dad. I mean, I'm sure some family took them in and they are fostering them, but it's not the same. And in some cases it is better, but to witness your mom being murdered, walking up, hugging her dead body, and then running and hiding because of that piece of shit.
Mark, the lookout, he said he had no clue what, in fact, he had been looking out for, and he testified against Michael. He was sentenced to 3 to 6 years in prison. Thomas Clayton is now in Sing Sing Prison, New York. Weird story. It kind of ticks all the boxes for being sucky, for Clayton and everyone, just being about sucky people. You got the unhappy marriage, the cheating, the life insurance. Though one thing is that Charlie, the witness who saw the person, I mean, legally Michael, I guess, but who saw the person who killed Kelly, she did say to the police it looked like her dad. That's never been, you know? I've had questions about that. Now, she's 7 years old, witnessing something very traumatic. You know, maybe she just got confused about who she saw, because at the same time, Tom was proven to be at the poker game, and Tom and Michael don't exactly look alike. But I guess Thomas Clayton did make it to the NHL after all. The National Assholes League. Could it?
That was so messed up. Oh my god. Alright. Thank you for the insurance answer. That was awful, that poor baby. Oh my god. Whew. Alright. If y'all enjoyed today's video as much as I did, please leave a thumbs up. If you're a fan of the spooky, scary, strange, deranged stuff that just makes you want to go, subscribe. That's what we do. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. No child should ever have to witness at that age their parents being brutally murdered in front of them for any reason whatsoever. I don't give a shit. I have more respect for your kids. I have more respect for yourself and the person that gave you those kids. Don't be a shit. Just don't be a shit. What's your main goal in life? Not to be a shit. Yeah.